Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And what is in the Australian water? That's what I want to know. Because you see, just drop something. Ugh. You got this Tim Tszyu, you got Opataya, now you got this guy Paro. Out here tranquilizing people. Now, I spent some time in Australia. A couple, we call them temporary duty assignments, right? TDYs. I've been out there a few times, and I enjoyed myself in Australia. Was there for work, but we had time to go out and enjoy ourselves, man. I can remember being in Australia, and I didn't get the opportunity to go to any boxing gyms, but I would always go look for a gym to go and try to do a little training. A lot of times when you go into a new area, guys find out that you were in the military. They're curious, they like to have conversations. And you come in the gym. I remember guys used to be like, "Hey, we got this guy, man. We got this Air Force guy. Maybe we can get some sparring with him." And sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. I did it when I was TDY to New York too. But my thing is, when I was out there, you would never know that they have these killers in Australia. When you think about killers in Australia, you think about them crocodiles and shit. But no, they got 3 crocodiles, land crocodiles, Tszyu, Paro, and Opataya. And you know what's so interesting about this is you always hear about the fighters, you always hear stories about fighters who never made it, or guys who are in the gym who are so much better than the guys we see out here on TV who go on to make it big, but they just didn't get the opportunity. So you look at Tim Tszyu. I think all these fighters should be very grateful to Costa Tszyu, Tim Tszyu's dad. Now, I'm sure there are other great Australian fighters. I probably could have put Kambosos on here, but I'm talking about, I think for the most part, a lot of people know who Kambosos is now. But Tim Tszyu, he still really isn't really known over here in the States. His name is bubbled up because of his dad's last name, but people know more about Kambosos than Tim Tszyu. Liam Paro, people didn't know much about him at all till last night. Now they're like, who the hell is this guy who knocked out Montana Love? And then Opataya, Eddie Hearn's doing a very good job with keeping him active. Actually, Opataya has a 2-fight deal in Saudi to make life-changing money. But my thing is, it goes back to, just imagine if these guys would have never had the opportunity to really get on the big stage, so the whole world could know who they were against the right opponents. They'd still kind of be remaining, maybe not Tim Tszyu, but the other ones, remaining in a relative obscurity. So my thing is, it's just nice when you see guys from other countries, little pockets of the world, get an opportunity to showcase their skill, and when they have that opportunity, they seize it and they pass the test with flying colors. So what's next for Opataya? I think he just gave up his belt, but he has some two big fights lined up in Saudi. Paro, sky's the limit for him at 140. I think Paro, I don't know if he can get to 135, but all the way up to 147 with the kind of power he has, the kind of engine he has, the kind of discipline he has. Paro is definitely a player from that range of 135 to 147, just depending if he can get down to that weight or how comfortable he is to bubbling up a little bit higher. And Tim Tszyu has proven that there's something special about him. How far can he go? I don't know. But I tell you what, if Tim Tszyu can get you in a matchbox size ring, more than likely he's gonna catch up to you. He's gonna get you out of there. And I wasn't convinced on Tim Tszyu. His dad was a bad boy, but I wasn't sold on Tim Tszyu. It was that fight against Tony Harrison that got my attention, and then he had two other fights where he was able to get the job done. And let me tell you something. That's when I said, okay, there's something special about him. So anyone he gets in the ring with at 154, they're going to have to be very careful. He's got power. So again, it makes me wonder, what's in that Australian water? Because, that salt water, they may have those crocodiles out there that everybody's worried about. But they got 3 crocodiles walking around here on land that look like you and I. that will take a pound of flesh out of your ass if you underestimate them in the ring. So big up Australia. Good job to the Australian boxing community and what they're producing, man, because you like to see it. These guys it's just like when you watch these guys from the Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Stan, you know, these guys start coming out, and it's like, you know, you didn't even know these fighters existed, man. Some of these countries you never even heard of. And these guys come out being boxers or MMA fighters, and it's like, what the hell? It's just about getting an opportunity. And then, you know, of course, the promoters send their teams down, they start scratching the surface, and then they find out, man, you know, there's droves and droves of these amazing athletes that just never had an opportunity, like I was saying. Gym famous. Right opportunity to go on, becoming an international star. So let's see how far these guys can go. And let's just see how many more of these land crocodiles they got running around there, walking around there in Australia. Because I'm paying attention now. Australia got my attention. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. In the breeze.